Should we order a pizza?
I'm hungry right now.
Oh, I wish we played some of the COD beta. It would have been really good.
We did play COD beta. E3.
Oh yeah, we did.
We went that route.
Call of Duty is coming out. The new Call of Duty World War II. Last game was Infinite Warfare, and it just became cool to hate Infinite Warfare. Like, even the COD community itself, the core YouTubers, came out, and they were like, this game sucks. Right? Because Battlefield 1 came out, and it looked awesome, and everyone's like, hey, yeah, Battlefield 1, World War 1, woo, woo, woo. And then everyone's like, we want boots on the ground, okay? Fine. So Infinite Warfare came out, most disliked trailer in video games history.
Really?
The most disliked trailer in video games history.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone hated Infinite Warfare. The Call of Duty community kind of let itself hate the game, and a lot of COD YouTubers were like, oh, I just can't support this game, right? Apparently, it wasn't that bad, by the way. I'm not a Call of Duty expert, but everyone was like, look, it wasn't great, but it wasn't a terrible game.
It's probably because they're coming out with the same shit every single time, which we've already covered before.
That was what everyone was saying. Everyone was pissed off about that.
And we played the new one.
And
we played the new one.
Then they announced Call of Duty World War II, and everyone's like, that's awesome. Love that. Really keen about it. We played it at E3.
We weren't wrapped.
I was not wrapped in it.
It was like, yeah, but we weren't wrapped.
At all. And so
it felt like Medal of Honor. Like it was like
felt like old school Medal of Honor.
It felt like old school Medal of Honor.
That's
I
true.
love that game, but like it's been done.
So now what's happening, right, is that the game is out, the betas have happened, and that none of the YouTubers are really talking about any of the problems with the game. They're just saying it's awesome. I've read a lot of critical discussion online from pretty reputable sources that are like, I'm a huge Call of Duty fan, and I think this is a garbage Call of Duty.
Really?
Yeah, because they're saying that the map design is awful. It's little areas where there's 5 different directions that people can come from. You've always got someone to flank you. It's not possible to hold down a position safely because it's just about basically making you run in circles over and over and over again, and you're just constantly dying and respawning. I watched some streams as well of people playing Call of Duty, and it was absolutely that. Even some of the best COD players in the world, I saw them just getting gangbanged from nowhere all of a sudden.
Yeah, but that's part of it though, because I think it's a
not
fine
always
line.
part.
It's a fine line, but you know, you've got to be able to make a map that doesn't allow you to camp in a corner, but at
Absolutely.
the same time, you've also got to have a sense of, you're right, not running in circles and every single second you could just get destroyed. I want a map that anywhere I am, there's always another area that the enemy can come from. I don't mind that. I don't mind that about any map.
I don't want a map that every main junction has 4 entry points, and not
every one.
And certainly the maps, the multiplayer like deathmatch maps
Today, Junior!
that I played at E3 were very much like that. But my question is, do you think that the YouTube community for Call of Duty is less likely to call out these issues because they're trying to recover from like the last Call of Duty where they lost views and they lost subscribers and they lost some of their fans because they all agreed, oh, this game is not good, Infinite Warfare. Do you think that maybe they would take it easy on a new Call of Duty to try and, you know...
I think with any game, it doesn't matter what game it is, when you create a following on that game, Division.
Yeah.
When you create a following on that game, and then your income relies on that game being popular, or at least being talked, like there's some sort of community, or there's constant news on that. The moment you start putting that game down, it causes people, if you have enough of a voice, to not play the game.
Yeah.
So then you lose your voice because less people are playing in the community. So it is a double-edged sword. People want to come to you because they know that they can, that you can tell them what's going on, but then you tell them what's going on about a shit game, and you actually do yourself a disservice.
That's true, I think. And I think what was interesting was that in last year, with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, as I said, the community gave their content creators a pass. And they were like, you're allowed to trash talk this game because we've all agreed as a community that this is not what we wanted. But now I think that everyone wants this game to succeed so much that if a Call of Duty YouTuber came in and started talking negatively about it, they would start getting downvotes because they're like, come on, man, we need our community to survive. We need to get this game to work, blah, blah, blah. And I definitely feel like I experienced that same sort of pressure, especially with the Division, where if I come out positively in support of it, people are like, yeah, that's great. But if I start speaking negatively about any part of it, the community is just like, oh man, you're so negative, give the game a chance, blah, blah, blah.
If you want to bring out any sort of content that is meaningful, the moment these... like when they said in the previous game, this game sucks, it builds credibility because they're like, okay, they're not just saying. But if they do it again,
it's kind of like maybe you're just negative.
Yes. So
maybe,
it's
maybe you don't care about COD.
So like, if it's a good, if they're saying it's good, then people can say, well, are they saying that because they need their followers back? Or if they say that it's bad, like, oh, this guy's just a fucking hater now. It's a weird crossroad because it adds to it that they've actually had the previous game be such a fail.
And it would be hard for an audience to discern the difference, I think. It'd be hard for the audience to say, this guy's legit because he actually loves the game and he thinks it's good, versus this guy is just saying that it's the right thing to, like, he's saying because he thinks it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, but
It'd be hard to tell.
I wonder, right, how many people out there will think a game is good because a YouTuber said it's good?
A lot of people.
I was going to say a lot of people. Their views will have to be in unison with the majority. That's so true.
Yeah. Well, it's less about the majority. It's more about, like, YouTubers have a lot of influence.
No, I mean, like,
they're called influencers by companies these days because of the fact that they can shape opinion. Like, if someone comes out and says this is good, a lot of other people are going to be like, that's good, man. I heard it's good. Haven't experienced it, but I've only played.
Same thing with movies, though. If you guys see a movie, right, and you look on Rotten Tomatoes, it comes out at 30, you're like, this is going to be shit. You walk in thinking it's kind of going to be shit.
Totally.
There's only been a few times I can ever think that we've gone and seen a movie thinking it was going to be shit, and we're like, well, that was really good. If they hear enough YouTubers that they look up to saying, oh, like, that they admire for their skill or for their, voice in the community, say, I think it's a good game. They sit down, even if it's trash, like, this is a good game. I love it.
So, I don't know. I'm interested to see how it goes. Interesting to see where COD lands. It's a big deal. Activision absolutely need to knock it out of the park on this one because, obviously, Infinite Warfare completely tanked. It was still one of the top 3 best-selling games last year, if not maybe the top-selling game. By the way, Infinite Warfare was still one of the best-selling games of last year, even though everyone hated it. I don't want to see it fail, to be honest with you. I know it's cool to hate COD, but I don't hate COD because lots of people love COD, so fucking go and play it and have fun.
I don't hate COD, but I do feel a sense of, like, God, it's the same shit every year.
Dude, they've been getting stealth for like 5 years.
They were bringing out like a new dog. We already spoke about this.
That's right.
A new dog with a new fur or some shit. People are like, oh my God, there's a fucking new fur.
If you decide you don't like COD, it's been getting stealth for years. If you're a COD fan, though, it's been the game that you love to play every year for years.
I love this fence sitter over here. Isn't he
I'm not a fence sitter.
Isn't he just a fence sitter?
But I totally have.
Off camera, he's like, oh my God, COD.
I'm always like, if there's a community that wants to play a game, go and play it, man. And as I said,
you know how to connect with someone when they say, oh, I play games, you ask them one of two things. Do you play Call of Duty? Do you play FIFA?
That's the two.
That is it. And with that,
you know exactly what type of game they play.
And that's it. So thank you very much. That's all I need to say. And that sums up his opinion. Take care.